Ball across to Dylan. He double in flight. Oh, what a start.
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again.
Yes. Van Magdeburg are the champions of Europe. To come up with something here. She has a game. This is across the keeper. What a comeback.
After an exciting day of Euro handball, it is finally time to talk handball again. The Spin We Talk Handball is back for your daily Euro review, and today it's in between the two of us. It's in between Martin and me. Martin, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Couldn't be any better, just the two of us together here on a Friday evening talking about handball and the Euros. I'm this new thing that we
quite
started
romantic,
here.
right?
Yeah, it's a little bit romantic actually. We're missing out a little bit of the light and maybe some flowers on the tables and stuff like that. And there's been, as we said yesterday, high-scoring games, and today was no exception. So good from my side. And normally we don't have a tendency, me, Victor, and Andrea, to ask you back. But what about you, Bengt? Today, how are you feeling after a victory from Germany yesterday?
Oh.
And
Great. Once in 200 episodes, I get asked how I am. That's unknown. I don't know that feeling. Oh well, how am I? Nah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's fun. I like the Euro time to just sit back, watch the games, and do a little bit of work around it. It's actually quite fun here, especially because today gave us a lot of stories again. And let's not waste too much time there. And I want to start it from fan perspective because I have been watching the Iceland match in the early slot, and I thought Faroe Islands was about to take over another country, but Iceland, oh my God, there are so many people in blue in your country right now.
yeah, that's crazy. It's a completely blue arena.
Sweden, sorry,
Yeah.
they're playing in Sweden.
Yeah, but it was completely blue arena today. I think there was around 3,000 or something like that, and they showed up, and there's something about these smaller countries that just unite each other together about something, a sport, and a lot of people traveling there. And as you said with the Faroe Island, we will probably also speak about them later. But with Iceland, they did great as well, and also in the game. I felt like you can also feel in the beginning a little bit of a lot of emotions showed there from both sides. Also Italy and Iceland are some kind of their Vikings. They're playing with a tough mentality and always shows their feelings. And they also showed up today. But in spectacle. And in terms of spectators, I must say it's we are for a good start.
It was the first one at a Euro for Bob Hanning and Italy, and especially in the beginning, you could see that there are things growing in Italy. So the basics are there. They are super willing to fight and give it their all for their jersey, for their nation. But eventually, you could see that the final class, the final handball, screws are yet to be screwed. Or what's your opinion?
Italy, I liked the mentality about how they, go into the games, because most often if they just go down and have a 6-0 defense and play against countries like Iceland, they will most likely lose. As we know, they also did today, but I like that you also saw some initiative by them going this half-court pressure, where they are high in defense, trying to take the tempo and the flow out of the Icelandic players, because we know the Magdeburg duo with Gisli and Omaengi and Smarterson, they are tough to keep up with. And also we've seen them earlier play with 4 backcourt players and
with 4 Rückraum players. You mean? Have you seen it already?
No.
Bob Hanning was actually speaking a little bit of Danglish there, as we like to call it. So a mixture out of German and English. And he stands there and is like, "Oh well, and now we switch it to 4 Rückraum players, and then we'll see. You play as a Rückraum player as well." That was actually quite fun.
It's for his luck that many of the players also play in Germany for Potsdam and also in the Bundesliga. But you can see Bob Hanning and what he wants to. But I like the mentality about going into the game, try out things instead of just doing 6-0 normal kind of stuff, if you can call that normal, and then end up losing. At least they tried stuff, and how do you also create new strategies and new things you
Just
want
a
to try?
second for what you just said there. You say that one could see what Bob Hanning is trying there. If you had to put it in words, what Bob Hanning is trying, what would it be?
It's definitely also putting the players into situations where they can go 1 versus 1, and also the tempo. I feel like they're pushing the tempo sometimes.
Mm.
Today, when against a strong opponent, it looked like they pushed a little bit too much with the tempo because of the technical mistakes they made, uh, and also in defense, it's a mix about wanting it too much and then trying out things. But that's some of the things that I see, and obviously also this emotions and feelings and giving it 100% in everything they do. That's very typical, also Italian.
Yeah, true that, true that. But then let's look over to the other side a little bit, because we did see a good Icelandic side that took like 10 minutes to get into the game. But after that, you could just feel each and every gap that Italy opened and offered. Iceland was just slamming it. So they didn't hesitate at all to jump in there and make use of it. And that was actually the point where I was like, dang, I really slept on Omar Ingi Magnusson for the top scorer of the tournament. I think it's gonna be him. So after today, I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be him as he takes the penalties, as he is a super important player in the right back position, and will be one factor why Iceland reaches the semifinal. Yeah, my opinion just solidified today.
Yeah, Omar Ingi is definitely also one of the candidates for that. But he sometimes switches also the penalty with the left wing Torkelsson from Sporting, which also played a good match in the first half. So he changed with Bjarki Mar Eliasson in the second one. But yeah, Omar Ingi, he's a goal getter, and yeah, he always do. But Smarterson did good today. Gisli, I think the three of them made 15 plus goals. And a lot of assists as well. So overall, I feel like Iceland performed very, very well. I think they also showed the mentality and character that they wanted to, and also Victor Hallgrímsson in goal really showed up, and I think that's also going to be important for them if they want to go far in the tournament. Yeah.
That is true. But let's close down that match here, because there was a little more handball that was being played today, and there were a lot of Faroese people that were actually watching that game.
Oh.
We've finally seen it. We finally see the Faroe Islands conquering Norway and coming there with each and everybody they know. They just packed them into a plane and we're like, yeah, well, you're coming along. The boys need support. And it was a white wall. Oh my God, I had so many goosebumps when they started their Viking clap. Did you see it?
I actually only with a half an eye, but I've seen it at last time, and I heard it also because watching two screens. But no, in general it's incredible how many percentage of the population is traveling to a handball game together, and it's like you can see the boost that it gives the players, even just with the draw today, how they celebrate and what it means to them. They never won a game at the European Championship before, and it's like, I'm not taking a side here, but it's like, okay, can they get the first win? Or, I respect Switzerland, what they did, coming back with 6 goals behind and then actually being in the
Before we
lead.
come to the game, let's stay there at the fans for a second, because
You can even
what you
feel
just
my
dropped.
emotions myself here, things.
It is, as you said, like around 15% of the population there. And just to put that into perspective, if we're talking about Germany and 15% of the population, you're talking about 12 million people.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
there would be 12 million people. That's like the whole of New York City. The whole of New York City
it's
that
crazy.
goes to see one match, and those numbers are just insane to think about it like that. But that actually gave the arena an end game feeling. So it was the first knockout game of the tournament. I'm pretty sure about that, at least atmosphere wise. It was so nice to see all those Vikings clapping and cheering, and from the very first minute, there was fire in the game.
Yeah, and we saw it early also at championships. It's somehow also a highlight even though that it has nothing to do with handball, the way that they play it or anything like that. But it's a highlight that them showing up and just being one. I would call it one big family. Also, a little bit surprised that Skipper Gutso he showed up for the game. He haven't played any test matches with the shoulder.
Was it a little bit of a poker game? Why would they do it? Why would Faroe Islands bluff that it's gonna be close for Skippy to actually make it to the Euro? But then he plays like almost the entire 60 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a bluff joker game because I also read an article saying that maybe he will be on the bench and we will have to see. He will only play a joker role. And then today, later on,
a Joker in one of the 3 games
yeah,
that they have.
exactly. And then today, if the warm up goes well, then he will maybe be able to play. And then starting the game, as you said, playing what I would say 60 minutes and scoring 9 goals and leading the Faroe Island team together with Oli Mitun. Yeah, but Skipper Gutsu, that was actually, if I have to be honest, I was not expecting him to play. So, a positive surprise because he's a very important player for the Faroe Island. We saw that today again, and he had an amazing tournament so far, season so far for Kiel also.
Yeah, I think he's somewhere around 135 goals
Yeah.
for Kiel just this season. He has made a huge jump, and that one is important. So he is a super important player for the Faroe Islands, as we have seen today. But the backcourt, just in between Oli Mitun and Skipper Götu, they both carry the responsibility. It didn't really look like he was playing on huge pain, what is a good news, and we'll just hope that he stays fit for the Faroe Islands, because with him they are able to create miracles like they did today.
Yeah, they got up 1 point, and as you said, I don't know if we should say that EURO for painkillers because, and I think his mentality is he will leave everything on the court and then see how it is afterwards. But Faroe Island got a point against Switzerland, and we also saw the other match from the group today that was very, very close between Slovenia and Montenegro, and it was a real battle today, in the boxing ring, and.
Yeah.
Credit to both teams, also because of the way the game developed.
Absolutely. It was a super physical game. Both left their heart on the court and ended up with a draw here. And this draw might actually be a result where both teams can align on eventually. So, because now both Faroe Islands and Switzerland, they have it in their own hands to proceed to the main round. So if both of them win both their games, both of them will finish the group first and second, and we'll see them progress through to the main round. Yeah, what does it mean for the group? So how does it look from the other perspective?
I mean, Slovenia won with 1 goal today. That actually also means that the goal difference is not that big. So let's say Montenegro is also not out of this group. Kind of what I expected. Maybe I actually expected Montenegro to be in some sense the weakest one because of the injury to the goalkeeper Simic, but today Slovenia also, they scored in the last was it 20 seconds, Makovsev, that he was not called up, and then because of the injuries they called him up, and then he ended up scoring that last goal, and close game today.
41-40 it was at the end, and I personally felt like the main reason why there were so many goals, because both teams seemed to not be able to defend. So the defenses were wide open on both ends. And for Slovenia, I mean, if you look at the squads, so you have noticed that in our preview episode already, that Slovenia is lacking a lot of players. So I'm just dropping some names here: Blas Blagotinček, Miha Sarabec, Alex Vla, just to name 3. Did that interrupt their rhythm so much that Montenegro had easy ways to go today as well?
Like, if you remove the number 3 and 4 in defense, Garber and Blagotinček, and you remove what's might have been the goalkeeper to start, Ferlin also. Then obviously you also got to rethink who is the players coming in, how many minutes have they had together in that defense, can we change our strategy then? So I think Slovenia might say, okay, we have so many players injured, and maybe our defense will not be the strongest, but what we can do is to run and run a lot and make sure to score a lot of goals, because we might have to if in order for us to win the games.
Yeah, one could really see that. On the other hand, Montenegro, they did have their problems trying to play 7 versus 6, but then not subbing off in time so that Slovenia could actually run towards an open goal and score from like 6 meters into an open goal. But yeah, everything wide open here in this group, what would be Group D. And then let's look over to your country, to your nation, the one that you're so fiery and proud about. We have Denmark against North Macedonia, and at first, of course, we want to hear how Nikolaj Jakobsen summarizes the game.
Well, it's always great to have a win, and I think we played not the whole match, but a big part of it really well. Our defense was really strong the most of the time, and every player got to play today, so that's also really good.
Yeah, well, the optimism is broad in Denmark. One could see that, but with that start, easy one to take, right?
In some way, Denmark did a very good job, and they did their job, but it's not like I was totally amazed by them today, but maybe it's also have more to do that I actually think North Macedonia did a pretty decent game. I was probably expect them to lose with more goals, but Denmark 2 points, they're off for a good start, and they did what they needed. And most importantly, all the players got playing time today. And that's not that usual for Nikolaj Jakobsen. I would say that normally you have a tendency just to play with, the ones that is there when it's clutch time. But today, every guy on the bench got some playing time, and I think that's also good for the chemistry within the group and the feeling about the game.
Yeah, everybody got their playing time and nobody left the court injured. That is the positive news if we're looking at the guy that is missing the Danish squad. So Thomas Arnoldsen misses. Today was probably not the game where that one would be noticed. But in general, what does the absence of Arnoldsen mean for Denmark?
To me, Andersen is one of the best players in the world, also on his position, and his future is very bright. So it's a big loss for Denmark, because I think he was also meant to be the starting playmaker, and also having the Olympic Games in mind, where he also did good, and the rhythm that he can play with together with Pytlik and Gitzel, and also do something by his own. That's a big loss, but in that sense, I need to also say that Rasmus Lauge, when he's performing on the national team, he's not a different player, but there you really get to see why he played for Kiel, Flensburg, and Veszprém. So I think we got enough alternatives, even though that Thomas Arnoldsen is an unbelievable player.
Sounds like a typical Danish statement. We got enough alternatives, we'll close it there for Denmark. The title favorites, they do look hot and good already. We look over to a player who as well surpassed a big mark today. It's Martin Costa, who actually scored more goals than his father, and we asked him about it. Simona, please.
And now a special match for you today. You scored more goals at an EHF EURO event than your father. Did you know that? Was there a bet before the match?
No, he put an Insta story, I think some weeks ago, to say not me to pass him, but unfortunately for him, I passed him in goals. So no, really happy to the win. The goals doesn't matter.
Yeah, a happy Martin Costa there, and he can be, because the start for Portugal was good. They beat Romania by quite a bit. All for a good start, right?
Yeah, they were. And they also today Portugal was running a lot, and they got it all under control, and they also got to rest some of their players and play with everybody there. So I feel like, yeah, there was not that much excitement in that game. Portugal had it under control, and they look strong. Costa brothers banged another, was it 9 and 7 goals? For 9 for Kiko and 7 for Martim, and Salvador was good. So yeah, all in all, a good performance by Portugal. I'm I'm not allowed to say that, but I'm looking forward to the group final against Denmark from that side, because Portugal is interesting. They are a good team, and if they are fit and fresh, then they can do damage.
Most definitely. Poland wasn't able to do damage today against Hungary because Hungary just played their strengths and looked strong in the end, winning 29-21. And that concludes the Euro Day for today. And we'll do a quick lookout for tonight when you are listening to the podcast. Spain and Austria will face off. Group E actually starts into the tournament with Sweden against Netherlands and Croatia against Georgia. And I'm highly looking forward to your hot take match, Czechia against Norway. Can you summarize it for us real quick once again, why you think Czechia stands a chance?
I don't regret it. I'm going to stick with my hot take, of course, but after that, I would say Pirog, the right back, had an injury in the game, and also the line player also got an injury. The first line player from Czechia, now I forgot his name, Heikel or something like that. So that's obviously not talking in my advantage, also having in mind the way that Norway performed, but I'm going to stick with it because they got the physical capacity in terms of the way that the Czech Republic players are built, and Tomáš Moravka in goal. We've seen him earlier, doing very good in goal, and also with a lot of respect that Czech Republic, the two wingers they had yesterday, they performed very well, but obviously it's going to be a big task, and I'm going to have an extra eye on that one.
The games tonight will be very hot and intense. I'm highly looking forward to those ones. Hope you guys will enjoy it, and tune back in to tomorrow when it's time to talk handball again for your daily Euro review.
Ball across to Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Into the net.
She does it again.